The M6 heavy tank, another overlooked metal giant. Before the Sherman became America's armored workhorse, and before the Pershing took the fight to Nazi Germany, another tank stood at the starting line. One most people have never heard of, the M6 heavy tank, a massive prototype born during the frantic early years of World War II, was the U.S. military's first serious attempt at crafting a true heavy tank. It was a bundle of paradoxes, massively engineered yet rarely used, formidable yet unwieldy, and ultimately relegated to a historical footnote. Still, in its day, the M6 was a feat of mechanical ambition, an experimental titan that hinted at a very different future for American armored warfare. Enter this steel giant. Conceived between 1940 and 41 as the heavy tank T1, the M6 was the brainchild of an American military suddenly realizing it might be behind the curve. Reports of the German Panzer IV and whispers of even heavier Axis tanks lit a fire under U.S. designers. The result? A 56-ton armored beast, 10 feet tall, almost 27 feet long, and shielded by up to 3 inches or 76 millimeters of frontal armor, twice the mass of the soon-to-be ubiquitous M4 Sherman. To move this steel mountain, the M6 was equipped with a Wright G200 9-cylinder radial gasoline engine, pushing out 825 horsepower. Essentially a plane engine strapped into a tank. Despite its immense size, it could reach speeds up to 22 miles per hour or roughly 35 kilometers per hour on paved roads. Power ran through a Torquematic transmission, with variants experimenting with a hydraulic torque converter or an electric drive, as seen in the M6 A2E1. These advanced systems were brave stabs at taming its mass, but they were maintenance nightmares in the real world. Built to brawl. At a time when many Allied tanks were armed with puny 37mm or stubby 75mm cannons, the M6 came to the party ready to throw punches. Its primary gun was a 76.2mm or 3-inch M7, flanked by a 37mm M6 gun in a coaxial mount, a rare dual-gun design that let commanders choose between busting armor or hosing infantry. For backup, it packed two 30-caliber Browning M1919A4 machine guns in the hull and a 50-caliber Browning M2HB up top for dealing with air threats. On paper, it had more than enough firepower to ruin a Panzer's day, if it had ever gotten the chance. Inside, the M6 crammed a 6-man crew, driver, assistant driver, gunner, commander, and 2 loaders. Space was tight, despite its bulk, with shells tucked into every available corner and mechanical linkages winding through the interior like a steel jungle gym. Its cast steel turret rotated with hydraulic assistance, and the gun had an elevation range of -10 to +25 degrees, offering decent flexibility in combat scenarios. The M6 was the tank that missed the war. Despite its brawn, the M6 never fired a shot in anger. By 1943, U.S. military strategy had shifted toward quicker, more standardized armor, qualities the M6 simply didn't possess. It was a logistical headache to transport, and its complexity gave Army mechanics nightmares. Only 40 units were built before the project was scrapped in favor of the more nimble M4 Sherman and the more refined M26 Pershing. Even so, the M6 left behind more than just steel skeletons. Its mechanical innovations and experiments in powertrain design paved the way for future American tanks. The M6A2E1, with a whopping 7.5 inches of frontal armor and a scaled-up turret, acted as a technical bridge to the Pershing. The M6 heavy tank ultimately became another relic from an alternate path. Another iron giant built for battles that never actually materialized. It stands today as a fascinating what could have been in the archives of tank warfare. a testament to how oversized ambition can quickly outrun practicality. It is proof, though, that even never-utilized juggernauts like the M6 can leave deep track imprints along the long trail of U.S. tank warfare history.